Have you ever felt that you were living a life that you didn't want? That's how I felt after years of jumping through all the hoops society set for me, born in the land of the free, but just another person chained to their 9 to 5. I felt like an actor stuck playing a role that I never wanted, and the worst part was, the hopes and dreams I had for the future were slowly dying. So I decided to take the leap of faith and quit my corporate job to chase my dreams. But the decision didn't happen overnight. It was after months of thinking, dealing with self-doubt, and second guessing. And the trigger came for me one day after being asked the question, are you the type of person to wait for your song to play at the party to dance? Or do you dance to the music all night long? Something about the question just seemed off to me, and after thinking about it for a while, I realized it was a trick. I realized the party was an allegory representing life, but the question assumes we don't control the music at the party. Are you the type of person to wait for your music to play at the party to dance? Or will you dance to the music all night long? Why would I have to wait for my song to play if I controlled the music? The question would fall apart if we controlled the music. But just as in life, for many people, if not the vast majority of people, we don't control the music. I was stuck in life, just like the question had put it, waiting for the external world to dictate what happened, and I realized the only way for me to change that or to control the music of my own life was to start taking actions to alter the course of my life. And that's why I quit my job 4 years ago. By taking control of the music of my life, I became the architect of my world instead of allowing the external world to be the architect of my life. I finally had the courage to dance to the beat of my own heart. As time went on, it became more and more obvious my dreams had never been the priority in my life, and I realized the biggest barrier keeping me from living the life I wanted was my comfort zone. Life seemed so simple when I focused on school and work. What needed to be known was clearly explained, and the work I needed to do was defined. Compared to that, pursuing my dreams was uncomfortable. What I needed to do and how I needed to do it was largely unknown, and I feared the unknown. But the more I thought about it, the more conflicted I became. I found comfort in the safety net I built, but I knew it didn't lead to a future I wanted. I knew how the story would end if I stayed in the safety net. I would keep working a job I didn't want to be at, let my life pass by until I retired, and I'd end up living the cliche, wondering what could have been. Our lives are the stories that we have the privilege to create every day. If we are living a life we don't want and we know exactly how that story ends, why would we not seek to change it? Shouldn't we want our lives to be an exciting adventure, an adventure where anything can happen because the future is unknown and uncertain? Looking back, it seems counterintuitive how I was, like so many other people, living a life I didn't want, but what I feared most wasn't continuing to live that life. What I feared most was leaving my comfort zone to change my life for the better. By quitting my job, I made the commitment to leave my comfort zone and pursue my dreams. So always remember, growth happens outside of your comfort zone. One of the biggest fear factors that kept me in my comfort zone was societal expectations. I had a respectable job, was making good money, and had invested years into my education to get where I was. If I gave it all up to seek a better life, would my family and friends think I went crazy? Would my coworkers say he couldn't make it in the corporate world? I wanted to make videos all my life, but was too scared to start a YouTube channel in high school because of what other kids might have said if they saw it. So I never posted anything as a way to protect myself from potential criticism. I never let go of that dream, but when I found myself in a corporate role, it wasn't the opinions of other kids from my high school that I was worried about anymore. It was those of my new coworkers. What if they saw my videos? They might have thought I was unprofessional. Throughout my entire life, I was more concerned with keeping up appearances than being true to myself. Little did I know the cost of maintaining those appearances was my own self-identity. I was stuck acting out a role I'd never wanted to play to gain the approval of others. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said, "Care about people's approval and you will always be their prisoner." Before quitting my job, I realized there was no way for me to be who I wanted to be if I continued to care about the approval of others. So make sure to remember, you start living when you stop caring what others think. So are people I know going to talk about me? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care, because caring what others think about me has only ever taken me further away from my dreams. My life has been an incredible adventure since I quit my job, and at the time I had no idea how colorful my life would go on to become or what was in store for me next. But to me, that's the beauty of living. So if you're thinking of dancing to the beat of your own heart, I hope you do. Get out of your comfort zone and don't be a prisoner to the opinions of others. I am Matty Appleseed. Fall for more.